This is your host, Brendon, and you're listening to the Ordinary to Ultra podcast. This podcast is all about helping you run your first ultramarathon and beyond. Tune in to hear new and experienced ultra runners share how they got into running in the first place, what inspired them to run an ultra, training and race day tips, and the gripping story of their first ultramarathon. Prepare yourself to be inspired as you hear stories of grit, sometimes failure, but ultimately triumph when our guests finally cross the finish line. Hey everybody, Brendon, your host here. Welcome to the Ordinary to Ultra podcast, where we share inspiring and relatable stories of ordinary people like you and me becoming ultramarathon runners. I made this episode today to give you an update. My last episode that came out, I told the story of my first 50K ultramarathon. It happened on August 17th of 2024. And I did it. I ran my first 50K ultramarathon, which was the reason I created this podcast. I created this podcast as a way to help me hear the stories of other ordinary people running ultramarathons, and to be able to ask them how they got there and what they did to get there, right? And I've also put it to the public, so people like you listening can benefit from hearing these stories as well, right? So I've achieved my goal of running an ultramarathon, and I plan on continuing my journey in ultramarathoning and running more ultramarathons, longer distances, maybe a 50-miler in a year or two. But I make this episode to tell y'all that I think I'm going to have this be the last episode for a little while. Maybe indefinitely, maybe not. I've put a lot of time and effort into making this podcast, and it's been a super fun and rewarding experience, and it will live on. These episodes will stay up in Apple, Spotify, wherever you're listening, indefinitely. And there's many episodes to listen to. I think this will be episode 41, I believe, which means there are 40 full episodes for y'all to listen to hear stories of ordinary people running ultramarathons, to get inspiration from, and training advice, and awesome, and hear some awesome ultramarathon stories. So I feel like my mission is complete for now. I may pick the podcast up again as I start training for another race, and maybe I'll focus on people who've run 50-milers and how they got there, and maybe we'll move on to 100-milers if we ever get to that point. I don't know. We may pick it up again in the future, and maybe we'll make seasons. Like this first season was getting to the 50K, and then maybe it'll be getting to the 50-miler. I don't know what the future holds, but I just wanted to tell all of my listeners to not expect episodes in the near future, so you're not wondering where Brendon went and where the episodes went, why they're not coming out anymore. It's because I have other things that I need to work on in my life right now. I just had another baby. You may know if you listen to past episodes. My family's growing. I need to spend some time with them, more time. I have some health concerns, even though I am an ultra runner. Apparently, that doesn't solve health issues. I need to maybe fix my diet and build more strength and other things to be healthy, according to some blood work that I did recently. So I'm going to focus on that. And I also have some career aspirations that I want to focus on as well. As you all probably know, times are tight. Inflation kind of went crazy and the housing market's nuts. And I think I just need to kind of double down on my career for a little bit and try to increase my skills so I can hopefully make some more moolah for the family. So yeah, I'm going to double down on these things. And I may, as a side project to increase my skills in marketing, I may grow the Ordinary to Ultra brand. Though the podcast is going to be paused for the time being, maybe indefinitely, I may grow this thing into something bigger. I don't know. But I have been thinking about it, and I'm intrigued with the idea of creating a bigger brand around this Ordinary to Ultra idea, about helping people run their first ultra marathon and beyond, because there's just so much power in becoming an ultra marathon runner. I have developed a confidence in myself that I did not have before running long distances, and I want other people to have that, genuinely, because when you know you can do hard things like run an ultra marathon, that extends to other areas in life. I am more confident in my abilities overall because I just know that if I put in the time, that I can do pretty much anything, because that's what you do to run an ultra marathon. You put in the training time, and then you can run an ultra marathon. Anyhow, so I may make it into a bigger website. There may be a blog. There may be services offered. Maybe I'll get into ultramarathon training and training people. I don't know. But anyhow, just know that there's some other things happening in my life, and that's why I'm going to put the podcast on hold for now. But there's plenty to consume from the past. If you're new to the Ordinary to Ultra podcast, just head on back. Start from episode 1. Honestly, I've loved each episode is amazing. But man, we started on a strong note with episode 1 with Miles Victors, who was 450 pounds and lost like 200 pounds and has become an ultramarathoner. He is running his first 100-miler in less than a month. The guy is inspirational. There's just amazing stories to listen to if you haven't gone back to the older episodes, or the newer ones if you're new here. But I digress. Listen to the episodes we already have. Don't expect any episodes in the near future, but stick around, keep following the podcast, because you may see something pop up in a year. And also join the Ordinary to Ultra Facebook group, and maybe follow us on social media, because you may see other stuff come up in the future, as well as I maybe grow the brand. So thank you for listening. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting my journey, and I hope this has supported your journey in return. All right. Good luck, and go become an ultramarathoner. You got this.